Hey, beautiful people, welcome to my channel, The Fog Philosopher, where we talk peace of mind, mental health, and being your best self. Hi, my beautiful people, welcome to another episode with me, Mercy Anyango, also known as The Fog Philosopher, and today we'll be talking about murder, mindfully, of course. Thank you for joining me in yet another episode. If you like something, if you learn something, if I just entertain you, kindly like, share, subscribe, and comment. It'll be much appreciated. And as always, let's get right into it. Today we'll be talking about mindfulness, and we'll be getting our points from the Netflix series Murder Mindfully. If you have not watched it, be not afraid. No spoilers on this video. We'll just be talking about the mindfulness part of it and how strategies that involve mindfulness can help us navigate stressful day-to-day situations. So watch till the end to find some points that can help you as you navigate day-to-day life. And personally, I still struggle with some of these issues, so watching the series really helped me out in getting some perspective on how I can use mindfulness to walk through most or some of the issues in my life. So let's jump right in. The first one is problem solving, and I'll just be reading from my other screen over here. So if I break eye contact, please forgive me. Okay, so the first one is problem solving, and the first step to finding a solution is to make sure you have an actual problem. If you're like me and you overthink and you analyze and you nitty-gritty things for every situation, then sometimes we don't actually have a problem. Sometimes a problem just exists in our mind. It is a made-up and imagined problem. It actually doesn't exist. So before you start finding a solution, kindly ensure that you do have a problem. So you can always journal, you can always sit with yourself for a while to ensure that you actually have a problem that you're trying to solve. So once you identify the problem, then number two is many times we struggle to find answers when we should be posing questions. So instead of coming from an angle of looking for answers, start asking questions. The third point is when we know what to ask, try to think of multiple possible answers. So once you start asking yourself questions with regards to the problem you're trying to solve, give each question multiple answers. And then the fourth point is explore every possibility and follow each lead. The perfect solution will come to you. So once you have your questions written down and you have possible answers, then explore each answer and see, just in your mind, make a story in your mind and see how each answer will lead to a certain possibility. Yeah, so the fourth point is go out for a walk. Moving your body will stir your mind and invite all your problems to go on the walk with you. So basically take a walk with the problem you're trying to solve, whether it's one or many, and then take the problem along with you. The fifth point is listen to your problems. They might have some ideas of their own. This one was very intriguing to me. I've never actually thought of listening to my problems, but yes. So the last suggestion is that when you're taking this walk, go with your problems, listen to them. Sometimes they may actually solve themselves. So that was number one point on mindfulness, which is problem solving. The second one is when you're in a panic situation. So when you feel panic taking over, ground yourself in your surroundings. This could be in an exam, this could be in an interview, this could be just a social conversation, this could be when you're at work and something goes different way from what you had planned. So when you feel panic, just ground yourself in your surrounding. That means stare around, look around you. What do you see that you can resonate with? When you concentrate on that thing, relax and focus on that one individual item or a thing that you have decided to ground yourself. And once you have that item, thing, painting, whatever it is in the room, that will now become your anchor. So focus on it 100% so that you can release that feeling of panic. So it might be the dispenser, it might be a painting in the room, it might be one of those artificial plants, it might be a pen. So whatever it is, just focus on it 100% and you will start to panic less. The third one is shamelessness. I was in such a situation where I wasn't able to stand up for myself, and I felt like the person who was on the other side of the situation really put me in a position of feeling ashamed and feeling embarrassed, that I was too afraid to speak up for myself. And this can actually be something I pick up today, which is that in a moment of shamelessness, you need to just stand your ground and speak clearly and family, which in hindsight is what I should have done. So I will learn to incorporate that later on if the situation arises again. So basically, when it comes to mindfulness in a shameful situation, just stand your ground and speak firmly and clearly. The fourth one is impatience, and I struggle with this a lot in terms of just always wanting things to happen now and being in control of every situation and not expecting the unexpected. So I am the type of person who is genuinely always impatient, and what I got from the series in terms of mindfulness when you are impatient is, number one, that impatience blocks us from being present. Number two, we need to accept it, acknowledge the feeling, and judging yourself is counterproductive. So when you're impatient, just tell yourself, yes, we're impatient, and there's no point of sacrificing yourself or judging yourself so harshly. And the third one is pause and say, I am calm. I am calm. And the fourth one is don't give into impatience, refuse to let it consume you, and return to that place of serenity. So that is for impatience. The fifth one is fear. So fear can occur physically or it can occur mentally, and it can be real or imagined fear. But the thing about the mind is it does not know the difference between what you imagine and what is real. So anytime you feel fearful in any way, the suggestions that we got were that, number one, when you start feeling afraid, concentrate and focus on your airflow. So basically breathe in. There's the 4-8-9, 4-8-7. I'm not so sure you can call it, but you breathe in, counting to 4, then you hold your breath for 8 seconds, counting to 8, then you breathe out, counting to 7. So basically you take a deep breath in, then you take a deep breath out, and then the third point is just being afraid is a part of life. Fear is nothing but a feeling. As always we say in this page, it's easier said than done, but in the moment when you are afraid out of your mind, when you are afraid that you have failed that exam, when you're afraid that you're about to lose that relationship, when you're afraid that you're about to lose that job, that fear is real in your mind, but you have to remind yourself that it is just a feeling. One thing I've come to understand in this life, that every day you have to remind yourself things. It's like you're a child being born. Every single day you have to remind yourself to be calm. You have to remind yourself that feelings are not facts. You have to remind yourself to be a kind person. You have to remind yourself to be patient. You have to remind yourself so many things on a daily basis. So it is not things that you learn once and let go. It's something that you have to keep practicing every single day. So basically, the last point on fear is focus on the present and the fear will pass. So focus on the present. Really, it does really happen when you start doing the breathing thing and reminding yourself that this moment now, right now, at exactly 5:52 on 2nd December, you are okay. That nothing is wrong in that specific moment. Whatever you're fearful of is either a past worry or a present worry. So whatever time you're watching this, just be in that moment and remember to breathe. The next one is anger. So anger is common to all of us. Actually, all these emotions are common to all of us, but we exercise it different. We let it out differently. So for me, I notice that my anger comes in very sharp bursts. Something can happen and I just have this very intense surge of anger. So what we get from the series is that number one, anger is a very important emotion. I was actually shocked to hear that, but yes. So anger is a very important emotion, but also at the same time, we always say on this channel that all emotions are very, very necessary and very, they all need an equal amount of attention. So from the series, we get that one, anger is a very important emotion. Two, it shows us that our boundaries were not respected. Three, look for what our aggression is trying to teach us and look for a solution. So anger is always trying to teach us something. Either we have not set clear boundaries, we've not set any boundaries at all, and we need to work on that. So the fourth one is that anger can cloud our judgment, and don't give it any space or act mindlessly. When we give emotions the chance to control us, there is a lot to be regretted in such instances, and anger being the worst in this case. So don't let it cloud your judgment and give it space before you act mindlessly. The fifth one is give yourself a moment and decide what course to take. Personally, from the previous example I was giving of someone who had really irritated me and pissed me off, in that moment when I was angry, in hindsight, I actually wish that I stood up and talked and stood up for myself, but I'm happy that I did not, because I honestly don't know what I would have said or how I would have said it. So when you actually don't know, or you have not practiced or learned how to stand up for yourself yet, it is best to just keep quiet and maybe approach the person later on, or just give the whole situation time to cool off. Because if you act in the moment, we honestly never know which direction our emotions will take us, and no one has ever regretted not saying anything when they were angry. Please, if I'm wrong, kindly comment below. Okay, so the sixth one is don't let anger decide for you. So basically, take a moment and don't let anger be the controlling emotion or the controlling party in the situation. And then the second point is to harness the anger by breathing in. I actually never knew about that. So you're supposed to usa and collect that anger together. And the final point is to stay in control. So I guess once you harness this anger, once you breathe in and out, you are able to stay in control, basically, in this situation. So those are some of the points when in the moment you're feeling angry, you're feeling fearful, you're in a panic, or you're feeling ashamed, or you just need to solve a problem. And what I saw, or what I got from the series as a common denominator, last time I used that term. So what I got as a common denominator in all these points is that breathing in and out is the key part. So in any situation where you feel like you're losing control of your emotions, or your emotions are taking over you completely, just either excuse yourself and go breathe in and out in a mindful, conscious way, or in the moment, if you can breathe in and out, you will look very weird. Trust me. I have tried it when having conversations with strangers, or even with people I know, and I feel like I'm talking too much, or I'm not giving the other person enough time to talk, or I'm not listening to what the other person is saying. So I've just learned or I'm practicing to breathe in and out in situations where I feel like the situation is either taking control of me, or my emotions are taking control of the situation. So yes, if you have not watched the series, it is actually a very amazing series. You can learn more from it. These are just some of the points I picked out. And the last one is smile. If you are stressed, just smile. You notice I really like laughing. I'm sorry. It's I don't know. It's always been there, even in heightened situations. I'll just find myself laughing or smiling. So just train yourself to always smile in situations, especially when you're stressed.
The moment your physical self does the action, your brain and your emotions will follow suit. So yes, thank you for joining me on yet another episode. If you like something, if you learned something, if I just entertain you, kindly like, share, and subscribe and comment. I'd really love to hear back from you guys. And see you on the next one. Bye.